What's good, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist, JackX33 here, and so I'm putting up channels on my video again, videos on my channel again, should I say, and yeah, so basically going to be doing all types of videos that I was doing a few months ago when I was posting videos, so like deck profiles, event discussions, meta analysis, trade binder videos, general topics, all that kind of stuff. And if you guys have any specific things you'd like me to post video wise, just let me know, comments in the section below and stuff. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos and such. So I'll just get started. I have Infernity deck that's post Hidden Arsenal 7 because it is legal now, and it's pretty good. It's very good actually, I think. One of the massive boosts that this deck got from Hidden Arsenal 7, or the deck got recently, because it was very good like ages ago, but it hasn't seen much play in the TCG for a while. But two like new additions to the deck that like helped the deck get a lot better. The first one was Diamond Direwolf that came out in, what's the set called? Cosmo Blazer. The reason why that's really good is because you can combo off, and in the like mid combo you can like shoot their back row, which if they haven't used it, it's probably like something like an attack stopper, like a Deep Prison or a Mirror Force, or you can shoot their monster, which can clear a threat on the board. Clear up your board space for more exceed spamming and shit. So that was a big help. And the second card was Lava Chain, which makes this deck like so much better. Just makes it like infinitely better than it was before. And the combos that you do are like really good and really powerful with this card. So I'll go through the deck, and they'll probably show like a combo, a combo or two you can draw, pretty like you can do with a few cards. But yeah, anyway, so starting off with the deck, you play 3 Archfiend. If you guys have ever seen Infinities, a deck of Infinities, or you've seen Infinities play, you know that like there's some cards that are just completely staple, and these 6 cards like are. So yeah, you have to play these. This deck's a Exceed Infernity deck, so it doesn't play Avenger or Beal or Mirage, but you can play those if you want to play Synchros. The Synchro deck it kind of adds more options, like you have more plays obviously, but it also adds more like 2 more monsters, and the draws are a little like less consistent. So I think I just play this. I like playing this deck for you play less monsters, and Exceeds are like easily good enough. So play 2 Sergeant Street Patrol. This card's like amazing in this deck, obviously because you banish it, get another monster out of your hand, and sometimes you can special Archfiend and go off with that. Sometimes you need like the second one in deck to do a combo, because you might draw one and then you might need to like you just might need 2 engraved to combo off. So 2 is very important, and yeah, it's a very good combo with Greffa if you draw it. Double Summon Monk. Summon Monk's extremely good when you're comboing off. When your opponent has some back row, it's not too crash hot, but you can always, if you go first and you open Summon Monk, you're probably going to combo and do some shenanigans. If you go second and you don't have any like MSTs or Night Beams, and they have a few back rows, you just got to chalk it and try to go for it. But yeah, this card's really good because it tutors Greffa and Armageddon Knight to send stuff like Street Patrol and Archfiend to your graveyard, so you can combo off. If there's like the odd chance of you opening, in the odd scenario of you opening, it's not that odd, but like you can open Summon a Monk, a spell, and say like 4 other spell or traps, and then you can just get Archfiend, which is like pretty sick. Yeah, but that's a good card. Play 1 Greffa and 1 Armageddon Knight. Greffa's extremely important, so is Armageddon Knight. In some situations, I'd say most situations Greffa's better, but maybe not most, but there's situations where both of these cards are better than the other one, so you need to play one of both. You can play 2 Greffa, but it adds another monster to the deck, and you don't really need to play 2 Greffa at any points. You can tutor it with Summon a Monk. You also play Reinforces the Army, so yeah, it's not needed, the second Greffa. It's 12 monsters. Now onto the spells. 3 MSC, just clear back row. 3 upstart to search through your deck. You basically play 37 cards, and the 1,000 life point gain is extremely irrelevant once you've comboed off, because you're gonna have like a plus 2 or 3 on them, and you're gonna have like at least 2 Solemn Judgments down, and probably kill them next turn regardless of what life points they're on. So yeah, it's pretty irrelevant of them gaining life points. Play 2 Night Beam, just because this deck is very vulnerable when it goes second, very vulnerable to back row, but I don't play 3 because it's very bad against Mermail. Having like 3 MST, 3 Night Beam, and Heavy Storm is like extremely bad against Mermail. You know, even like 3 MST, 2 Night Beam, and Heavy Storm is bad enough. But, you know, making like probably the best decks match up a bit worse is like something I don't want to do. But Night Beam is very clutch at times. It's also just another spell for Summon a Monk, you know, like stuff like that. Play 2 Duality because while the main purpose of this deck is just comboing off, and you want to do that as much as possible, there's sometimes some hands just don't allow you to do that, unfortunately. And Duality, you know, lets you set up for next turn. Sometimes you get that card that you were missing in your hand on the first turn or something, or you can get like a defensive card or a back row removal card or something, and you can just combo off the next turn. You know, if you have the right cards in your hand, it's very hard to stop a combo from this deck. You play 2 Instant Fusion. The reason why you play this is to make Larval Chains like as much as possible. So yeah, when you try to combo and send stuff to the graveyard, you can also make Shockmaster, which is very good. You know, making Shockmaster, calling spells, and setting like 2 barriers with an Archfiend or a Necromancer, and a Larval Chain. Like that's a pretty common ending board if you combo off and you have like a Instant Fusion. It's also another spell for Summon Monk, which is great. You know, the more spells the better. Speaking of which, Zero Max, this card's pretty cool because okay, so one thing about this card is you can Zero Max back Archfiend, but if you do, the Archfiend will miss timing, it won't get its search, because Zero Max special summons the monster, and then it kills all the monsters with lower attack on the board, so you can't search with Archfiend if you Zero Max it. But due to Larval Chain being released, you can usually get a Necromancer and Archfiend engraved pretty easily. So, you know, you Zero Max Necromancer back, then you special summon Archfiend and get your search and keep going. A lot of the times in this deck, you can combo, like you can sort of not really combo, like you can get stopped eventually, but you might already have an Archfiend and Necromancer. an Archfiend and Necromancer in your graveyard. So if you draw this, then you have a kind of backup play, and you can just search a barrier and then maybe like set up for next turn. It's pretty sick, pretty clutch in some situations. It's also another spell for Summon a Monk, and it's just good. Play Foolish Burial because it sends like Stygian, Necromancer, Archfiend, anything you want basically. Just like, and it's 1 Rhoda to search out Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher. Infernity Launcher, which is like easily the best card in this deck, because if you open too many monsters, you can just send one to your hand from your hand to the graveyard, which can sometimes allow you to combo where you normally couldn't. And it's basically the go-to card because of Larval Chain. You know, like if you have an Archfiend, if you overlay an Archfiend and some other random like level 4, you detach Archfiend and you send Necromancer, and you probably already have like another Archfiend engrave or something, or you have a Necromancer engrave, so you send Archfiend, then you can launch it back, Archfiend and Necromancer, search once, Necromancer back another Archfiend, search again, and then you have a rank 4 like play on board if you want to. So your launch is obviously like amazing. And you have Reborn Storm. I don't play Dark Hole because usually when you're comboing off, monsters aren't much of threats to you because you can Direwolf them away or Maestroke or something like that. And Dark Hole isn't very good in Svers. It's not a reason to cut a card just because it's good bad into one matchup. Like I probably wouldn't cut it in any other deck but this, just because in this, like I said, monsters aren't big threats when you're comboing off. You mainly want to hit the back row and then you can deal with monsters while you're comboing. It doesn't really matter too much because monsters don't stop you. You know, like obviously Gyrus is pretty fucking gay and stuff like that, but like, you know, if you draw the 1 hole and they have the Gyrus up, I guess you're just pretty good. Like, but yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate to have Gyrus. You just got to go through it. Anyway, that's 19 spells. Onto the traps. 3 barrier. 2 break. Very, very good cards. They win you basically every game. Not much to say about them, you just search it out, and yeah, you win. And then for the other traps that aren't Infernity cards, you play 2 bottomless because this card's good against basically every deck, and just sometimes like you can't combo off and you need to defend yourself, or if you have like 1 Archfiend and you have like a couple of barriers face down, because barrier you need a face up attack position Infernity to activate it, and sometimes decks can summon something like Sabersaurus or Heliotrope, or even like Machine of Fortress, and they're not effects, so you can't barrier them. And then it's like if you don't have bottomless or like Infernity Break, they can just attack your Archfiend, and then you have no Infernity monsters face up attack position, and then they can just like Heavy Storm or Dark Hole you, and you can't activate barrier. So bottomless saves you from that, because you can just bottomless it away, and then barrier if they try to like reborn or like summon another monster. So that's a pretty good application with that card. And same thing with Warning and Judgment. I mean, obviously Judgment just stops everything, and Warning's like I said, it's basically the same as bottomless, just a little bit better. It's very good in this deck. I don't have like much of an extra deck right now. I have to borrow a lot of cards. Like this is the extra deck. At the moment I have, I need to get another Lava Chain, another Abyss Dweller, possibly another Maelstrom, like Papal Imperative, and 2 Diamond Direwolf, gets that card sick. You can play Ouroboros if you want. Like it's not mandatory to play it. Really, you don't really need it, but it's something that I like just as an option if you're comboing. Like sometimes making Shockmaster isn't always good. Like against water, you can't really call monster effects when you make Shockmaster, because you usually have to use more monster effects in your turn to combo. So you can make Ouroboros, discard 1 card out of their hand, and that could potentially be like a combo card, or a Dark Hole or Heavy Storm, something like that, or an MST. So yeah, it's pretty sick. Anyway, I'll just show you guys like a combo, like a standard combo you could do. So you open like, say you open like Archfiend, and like Summon a Monk, like a random spell like Typhoon. So, and like 3 other spell and traps. They're irrelevant at the moment. Like this is pretty, this isn't the only combo, like this isn't the only cards you can start to combo off. Like there's many situations where you can combo, but this is just like a standard one. So you summon Monk, effect, like switches, pitch, to, so remember, you have 3 more cards in your hand as well. So you get Armageddon Knight, you send Stygian Street Patrol to the graveyard. I'm just like trying to fit this all on screen. It's a bit annoying, but yeah. You remove Stygian to special summon Archfiend. Archfiend then searches you Launcher, wherever it is. Here we go. So you search Launcher, you activate it, or you can keep it in your hand, doesn't really matter right now. Then you overlay for Lava Chain. You detach Archfiend to send a Necromancer to your graveyard. So in grave you have Archfiend, Necromancer, you have Chain, Armageddon Knight, and Launcher on board. Then you send Launcher to special summon these 2. And you search probably like a barrier or something. So right now you have this board and barrier. Then you can overlay for say like another Lava Chain, like that. Say this, then you detach. Graveyard, you can send another Infernity Archfiend to your graveyard or something. Or what you can do is you can send Stygian, which is really cool. Then you Necromancer back to your Archfiend. Search, you can search another Archfiend. Banish Stygian, just special summon this Archfiend. And then you can search barrier. So you essentially turn 3 cards into a board of 5 monsters, including 2 Lava Chains, which is obviously very good to have on board. You search 2 Solemn Judgments, and you also have 3 other cards in your hand that are spell and traps. So one of them could be like a Warning, another Solemn Judgment, like an actual Solemn Judgment. You could have a barrier, a break. You could have MSTs for their back row. You could have like a Zero Max, so if your player goes to shit, you can just like Zero Max back. But you can essentially have anything, and you've just turned like 3 cards into 7. This probably isn't even like the most optimal combo. Like it definitely isn't the most optimal combo actually. And this is one of the many combos you can make with this deck. So as you can see, it's pretty good, and like not many decks could break through this combo. Like you have like double Solemn Judgment, which is pretty sick, and you also have a board of 5 monsters. So yeah, that's just like I said, that's just one of the combos and a reason why this deck is very good. So if you haven't tried this deck, played with it, played against it, I suggest you do, as it's pretty cool and very good. Anyways, that's the Infernity deck I have at the moment. Let me know what you guys thought. Like the video if you liked the video, I guess. Subscribe, And yeah, until next time, just I don't know. See you later.